Hello everyone, welcome back to AFC, Action Figure Captures. Today's video we have something that I normally don't buy, and it's actually a product from the Funko company. I have never until now bought anything from this company. To be honest with you, I'm not a fan of the Pop series figures. I really don't like that super deformed look and the lack of detail in the faces and everything. It's just not my sort of thing. But I do appreciate that there is a market for those, and they've done an incredible job making all the different lines they do produce. It's just not my thing. But I happened upon a video covering a game that I'd never heard of until now, and yes, I know I'm living under a rock, but it's a game called Five Nights at Freddy's, and it's a jump scare game. And I had never even heard of this series up until happening upon a video on YouTube by a gentleman named Markiplier. And I was watching him play the latest release, which is called Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. And it looked like a lot of fun. And I thought it looked like a great game, and it looked like something that would be interesting to try out. And so I bought it based on having seen his gameplay. And so I just happened to take the chance that there might be some kind of merchandise for it, because I'd heard it had been around for a while, and I just had no clue because I'm clueless about these sort of games. And luckily, Funko does make a number of figures, and they have a large lineup of figures available, including the main guy here, Freddy, and this is Glamrock Freddy. And I was super excited to see that they had actually made this figure. Oh, by the way, McFarlane does also make some Lego style sets. I'm not sure what they want to refer to them, I guess building sets, and those look great as well. This is my first attempt at buying anything from this line, and I think Funko did a great job with these figures. I've seen mixed reviews about the quality and about how they actually don't really hold together well because of the joints and everything. But it looks like they will be a lot of fun. I'm hoping that this guy is a little more solid than some of the other ones I've seen reviews of online. They do say that this one actually is, like this latest line, has been better made than the previous incarnations. But if this guy holds up well, I think I might possibly pick up the other four characters from the game, which you can see on the reverse card there, and I may look into some of the other characters from the earlier versions of the game as well, because there are some really cool looking designs and figures that came out in that line. So without further ado, again, you can see the characters there, but without further ado, we'll jump into taking some shots of the figure and covering his articulation and how great he is or not great he is for photography. Thanks for jumping back into the channel, guys. I hope you're liking what you see. If so, please again consider liking and subscribing. Thanks so much. Okay, so first we'll cover the packaging and kind of what's included with Freddy, and with regards to some of the accessories. It looks like he's got a very simple set, but it's basically what he has in the game. He's got his microphone, and of course he's got his mic stand. You can see the detail. They actually did sculpt in a texture on the figure, so the body has actually got a texture. So it's almost like a teddy bear texture. On the figure. You can see the amount of paint detail. They actually did a really great job painting them and making them look like the actual figures, or the actual characters from the game. It's actually really well done. I do like that you can see all his teeth and everything, and they're cleanly painted. You can see the eyes, and they've actually added a catchlight to the eyes and everything as well. He's got his earring. Apparently he doesn't have spikes, which I'm not quite sure why, but basically in the game he did have some spikes on his wristbands and so forth. They didn't add those, and I'm told that apparently the actual shoulders, the pad should have been quite a bit larger as well. But from what I've seen of this lineup, it seems that they do use a lot of parts from the previous releases of the figures, and they're just repainting them to match the current incarnation of the game. The other thing I was told, maybe his hat was a little too small, but I'll try to get a reference picture up from the game and show what that looks like and give you an idea where the material comes from. So of course, again, he's called Glamrock Freddy, as you can see. And on the back of the package, of course, we have the other characters. So here we have Freddy himself, of course. Sorry, I'm trying to get this guy to focus for us. It's not really wanting to cooperate. Okay, Freddy is on the left there. That's Chica, who's a chicken or a bird. The bottom we have Roxy, who's a wolf, and then of course we have Montgomery Gator. Self-explanatory there, he's a gator. And then we have one of the villains of the game, and that's actually Vanny the rabbit. and she ends up playing a role in the game where she becomes one of the main villains. Don't want to say too much. I don't want to spoil the game or anything for anyone who might be interested in checking this out. And again, if you look up Markiplier and look at his gameplay of all the different Five Nights at Freddy games, or FNAF, I think is what they call them, or FNAF, sorry, forgive me, is what they tend to call them a lot of the time for short. I think you'll have a good time watching his reviews. They're a lot of fun. And again, here we go. We're back to the front of the figure, and let's open him up and see what we got. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm seeing what people were talking about, just trying to get them out of the actual blister packaging and how the figures just come apart in parts. It doesn't affect the figure, thank God. They're not that fragile, but yeah, they just kind of pop into pieces trying to get them out of the packaging. So you get all your random parts popping out. And yeah, not the funnest experience trying to get them out. Another thing is, I wish they weren't on a blister card. I wish they came inside some kind of packaging where you could put them back in the packaging after you're done. I like having my items put back in the boxes, but you know, that's just me. I like to have packages that I can put my guys back into and put them away after I'm done shooting. Okay, so now we're just going to kind of start pegging him back together. So you just pop the parts back onto their joints. There we go. There we go. And yeah, he's quite loose already, but hopefully that doesn't affect posing him. It looks like he's got decent joints for posability, at least anyway. Well, not really. Well, his shoulder just popped off yet again. Okay, so the shoulder pads are actually done as part of the upper body. It looks like there's an actual upper body cut, but there isn't one actually, so it's just painted in there, or sorry, sculpted in there. So you don't get that. The head barely moves. You can get your left to right. You really can't get an up or down out of it. The legs only come about that far forward. The arms only bend to there. They can't go all the way out though, so you can kind of get them out there. There's no ankle joint, so you can't really angle the ankle, or swivel the ankle, sorry. And that's about all the posability you get out of this guy. So you get the 360 rotation in the shoulders, of course, minus the shoulder guard blocking the shoulder. You can turn, oh no, you can't turn the leg all the way around. You can turn his leg all the way around to the knee joint. Yeah, no waist swivel. Oh, there is a waist cut, so you can get a bit of a waist swivel and have him standing there like that. But yeah, pretty limited for posability. To be expected. I wasn't expecting these guys to have a lot of posability, but I thought you get some fun poses out of him anyway. But it looks like we'll get a few poses out of him and be able to kind of do what we can with him. Now in the game, these guys were a lot grimier looking. They had a bit of a wash to them where they looked like they had some kind of dirt and stuff building up, because the game, basically, these are meant to be defunct animatronics, basically, that have kind of snapped and kind of gone evil, I guess. And yeah, it doesn't stand very well by the looks of it. So his one foot just doesn't seem to want to go flat to the ground, but I'll make that work once I get going here. Forgive me, I'm just going to try to angle the camera down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. I'll zoom in a little bit here. Let's see, here we go. Sorry guys, doing this on the fly instead of doing this off camera, but there we go. So that's what he's going to look like. His accessories, as I mentioned, you get basically the mic stand. Let's see if we can get that in the focus here. And of course you get his microphone. So he's basically the singer of this band, and you just kind of have him with his microphone and his mic stand. So you're just going to put his mic in there, and he can hold the mic stand and everything. Right now I'm not going to do that just yet. I'll do that in the photos. But that's what you get with your figure. You get the actual figure himself, and you get the mic stand and the microphone, of course. Yeah, so once again, just to kind of reiterate, basically limited posability, joints do pop off like crazy, as people have suggested in previous videos. Limited accessories, but again, he does come with the main accessory that he had in the game anyway. And yeah, that's basically it. The feet are pretty limited, and I wish they actually had ankle joints. It looks like they might even be on the wrong legs right now, but the weird part is that one leg was attached when I took them out of the box, so it looks like they should be on the right sides, but let's see if they look any better, if he stands any better if I swap them. Once again, they just pop right off. Sorry for not doing this off camera again. I just thought it might be part of the experience. Correct me if I'm wrong in any comments. Yeah, that actually does look a bit better. I think they were meant to be like that, actually. Let's see. Yeah, and he stands better too, so I guess I had them on backwards. So there we go. So Freddy with his accessory. And yeah, his feet do look better, and he's actually standing correctly where they're not on an angle. So I do appreciate that. That actually was just me having them on the wrong spots. So there we go. So let's move into some photos. I'll try and see if I can get you quickly some shots of the details of his face and everything. Just seeing if I'm going to get too close, if it won't focus. Okay, there we go. So he's going to focus for us. So yeah, some nice paint apps on the face and everything. All the paint is clean. I don't really see any bleeding or any missing paint. I don't see any real scratches on the details. The sculpt is actually quite nice, and as I mentioned, it does have a texture. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. It does have actually a texture to the fur. I've seen videos where they've had a lot of these really bad knockoffs, and I actually considered buying a knockoff set because I wasn't familiar with the franchise. And I thought, no, gotta support the original and get the Funko and everything. And I'm glad I did, because the reviews of the knockoff versions were terrible. Like they were really bad figures. Bad paint apps, bad quality control, everything. This is actually well done, and he does look great. And quite honestly, I'm not super impressed with the figure overall. But quite honestly, considering how simple the design is and everything, it's really well done for what it is. I'm hoping that someone like McFarlane might take another swing at this and do something with a wash or with like a really grimy look to it to make it look a little more detailed. I may even attempt to put a wash on it myself. I've never done that before either, so that might be an experience that might be worth putting on camera. But yeah, so anyway, this is just kind of like the idea of what the figure looks like and everything. Front to back, you can get a feel for how he looks. And then I'll just take some photographs and I'll put the edits together, and you can see what you think of the figure overall. But again, he is a nice looking little figure. The joints are a problem. I don't think they're going to be a problem for taking some photographs. And if you're going to have him standing there on the shelf, he should look great. I like the paint details and everything. Funko did a good job with that. Very simple figure, but I like him. He's kind of fun. And looking forward to taking some photographs and doing some edits and seeing what we get out of him. So the hands actually do have some wrist articulation, so you can turn the hands inwards and outwards so that you can actually have them holding the mic in different poses and the mic stand in different poses. And each hand, the left and the right, is actually sculpted to actually hold the accessory that's intended for it. So I believe it's the right hand for holding the mic and the left actually for holding the mic stand. And they are basically molded perfectly so that the two accessories fit into the figure's hands perfectly, so that you're not worrying about them dropping them. It's actually got a nice tight grip, as you can see. Almost too much so, and basically pushing the mic stand into his hand, you're afraid you're going to scratch the paint. But it does not, though. So here we are with the mic stand and mic in hand here. And yeah, they look great. Like I love that they actually added the articulated wrists so that you can actually have him holding the mic close to his mouth and angle the mic towards his mouth when you're doing so. So give me a second for this guy to turn around for a moment. Actually, let's just do this now. And as you can see, you get some nice poses out of him with the mic towards his mouth. So I do really like that. Yeah, nice little figure, a lot of fun. Looks a lot like the actual game character. And again, it is based on a previous mold from a previous figure release from one of the previous games. So that's why you don't have the spiked wrist guards, I think, and things like that. They just basically, you know, left that out to make use of the mold parts, I believe. And again, with the joints, it's amazing how many times this guy has popped into pieces trying to get him to actually do things. So yes, that is a concern. So if you're going to set him up, just set him up and pose him and just leave him there. It's great. Just be careful you don't lose any of the parts. I may go over the joints with some clear nail polish just to try and get him to stay together a little better in the end. But yeah, fun little figures. I'm hoping the other figures might look as good. I've seen some reviews so far on them, and the big fans of the games don't seem too thrilled with them. Some people really like them. Some people haven't been so hot on them, but I don't know. I'll decide if I want to keep going or just have the main guy only. But so far, I'm going to stick with the main guy at the moment. So that's going to do it for the video section of this. I just want to give you a quick idea and a quick review of what the guys look like and see what you think. If you like what you see, please comment below. Let me know what you think of the figures. If you played the games, let me know what you think of the games. The games, like I said, I've only played the one game, but it was a lot of fun when I played it. I may go back and play the others as well. I just got to decide if I want to go into a whole, next set of games again and possibly pick those up. But they are on sale right now in the PlayStation Store. So if you're going to grab them, now's the time to grab them. If you like jump scare games. The earlier ones I'm told are a lot scarier than the new one. The new one was pretty tame. It was pretty mild for the jump scares. It was a lot of fun and they looked really cool and everything, but the earlier versions of the games are quite a bit darker, and I'm told the jump scares are a lot scarier. Anyways, guys, sorry for rambling again. This is Glamrock Freddy from Five Nights at Freddy Security Breach by Funko. If you like what you see, guys, go and pick them up. You can find them online on Amazon and everything as well. That's where I got this guy from, was Amazon.ca. You can find them at GameStop and everything. Apparently these guys came out a while ago before the game was even released. I wasn't familiar with the franchise at the time, so I did not know, so I wasn't looking for them. They are less expensive at GameStop in the US. I believe they're about $13 a piece. This one cost me about roughly $18 US dollars. And yeah, he's not bad. I like him. I'm glad I picked him up. And again, depending on what we get out of these shots, I may consider picking up the others as well. But that's my review for this guy for the video portion. I'll attach some photographs at the end of the video for you to check out what you think of the actual photos and the figure and when he's set inside a scene. Thanks again, guys. Please like and subscribe if you like the channel. Really great to have support on the channel and keep it going. Thanks so much, guys. Take care. Have a great day.